Bell. I'm Courtney and I'm really excited to have you here with me. Thanks again for joining us. I'd love for you to hit that subscribe button and ring the little bell because today I'm going to take you for a tour on through my pantry. Here we have the pantry that was specially designed. We changed the floor plan in this particular house so I could have a pantry this large. It is something that is really important to me, and there will definitely be another video coming to show you how we changed the floor plan to maximize the space and get everything in that was perfect for us to have a huge pantry. This pantry allows me to see everything I've got in here at a glance. I didn't want to dig through things or have to look behind things to see anything. I can walk in here without touching a thing, know exactly what I have in stock, what I need, and write out a shopping list really easily. So you've got at the top here containers. All the containers in here are the OXO Pop containers. They are really, really great. Let me just show you how one of them works. So without actually touching the lid, you can't pull it off, but you need to just hit the little pop button, pull, and they open. They also have a little bit of a vacuum seal, so they are great for keeping your food fresher for longer. That is why I chose all of these, and you'll see them consistently through the pantry. They do come in a variety of sizes. As you can see, I've tried to keep some consistency. Things that I carry less of stock and things that are bigger and bulkier have different size containers for those purposes. So along the top here, you'll see raw sugar and things that I kind of keep a little bit of stock on in their containers. And I do have a cookie and a candy jar because I definitely have a sweet tooth. You'll see my pastas and my rices here again in those pop containers. Specific containers for specific purposes. So a spaghetti container obviously is your longer one and looks great next to all the rest of the pastas anyway. I tier this one at the end so you have a nice height effect when looking at the pantry. It's just a lot more pleasing on the eyes. Moving down, you'll see along the bottom shelf here I have some really big jars. I love to bake myself when I do get the spare time. It's one of my favorite hobbies. And in these jars are a lot of those baking staples. I do have to admit the chopped chips are a little bit of an indulgence and they are maybe a little bit for presentation too. We probably don't go through that many chopped chips a week. But they're really great and really user-friendly. Pull them to the front of this extra wide shelf at this height, your hip level as well, allows you just to put a scoop in there, grab out a cup measurement at a time as you need it and pop it straight back in place. So easily, so user-friendly without having to lift a thing as well. So that is this side of the pantry. I will show you those lower levels, but essentially once I go down from this higher shelf, this wider shelf, sorry, you then go down to appliances, which are all visual and all out on display. And right down on the ground, which I'll show you guys in a clip shortly, you will see my backstock containers. That's where I carry anything that I don't want out on display, or maybe it's my overflow or my excess. I shop a lot at Costco and bulk buy stores. We are here in Sydney, Australia, and we are blessed enough to have a Costco, so I do shop there when I need to, but buying in bulk isn't always the best for a pantry like this. I don't need 10 pasta sauces out at a time, so the ones I don't need go in that backstock. These turntables here allow you to see everything at a spin. So if I need something, rather than sticking my hand right up at the back or having to reach, you can just pull it around. Great for kids, really user-friendly as well. And you can see everything you have on hand. So I've got one for spreads, I have one for my condiments, of course. Similar thing down there. I've got everything from my oils, sauces, anything that we kind of grab quite often. I've got in a spinning turntable as well. And then I've got a few things like vinaigrettes and balsamic glazes and that just down here in their bottles that they come in. Again, moving along the top section, I've got just a grinder and a salt and pepper shaker. Some things are in here for a little bit of ornamental use, so I don't use it very often, but it looks great in the corner and just adds a little bit of a personal touch. This top side along here as well, again, is those OXO Pop containers. I've used a variety of sizes here. They look very similar, but there are two different sizes because some things I really don't need as much of as others. For instance, this bicarb soda is the smaller container, but if I grab my nuts, for example, it's a much wider container. They look the same size from the front, but double the size inside. It gives a really uniform appearance though when you're looking at the front of it because the front side is all the same width. So you can have them all together along that shelf and they look really beautiful. I've put mine in kind of a color order so it goes from lightest to darkest. And that's just one of my things I love to do, is getting a little bit of color and flow through line up the ingredients in the way they are coloured. So that's just one of my personal touches. Cereals in here, again in those OXO Pop containers, they last longer. So it's so much better to keep them in those containers, and they're really user friendly. I find this is so much easier to pull from than a cereal container that you've got a lid on, so that way you can get out exactly how much you need. And it stores things like wheat mix that are a bit bigger in the same manner. So that way you're not storing different cereals in different containers. You've got that uniform look throughout your pantry. Next we have my cans and anything that's kind of in jarred goods. Again, here I use things in colour order to give that really clean look. I use a Roigabiv order, if anyone knows what that is, but working through from my reds to my orange, yellow, so on and so forth through a logical rainbow. But I put everything on a tiered shelf. So that way I can see the labels, and previously having worked in the hospitality industry myself, I always make sure that I rotate things first in, first out. So whatever I buy, I go at the back with, and I move the other items forward to the front. So if I'm grabbing something to cook with, the pasta sauce I grab is the front one, and then I move everything else down towards the front and re-put in the new stock that I've just purchased at the back. Making it really easy to make sure that you are not using things that are out of date and that you are using the older stuff first. So continuing along that shelf, we'll show you another shot as well. Right at the end, I have a nice variety of long life milks. I like if guests come over and they're lactose free or they prefer soya and almond milk to have those on hand. I just get a long life version of those. That way I can always cater to guests that I have over if they've got those dietary preferences too. Moving down to these containers down here, they are pull-out ones. They are so easy and user-friendly to pull out. My family loves snacking, so we have a big old snack drawer that is always full, and I'm always grabbing things out of that back stock that I talked about and throwing it in there so that we've got things just to munch away at when we want nibblies, or if we're running out of the house and quickly need a snack, or if we've got friends coming over and they've got kids, we'll often pull that one out. Other things we keep on hand quite often, like rice. We love canned fish. We have one for our bread goods, and then one for dinner, which is kind of a bit of a broad one, but it's got all your satchels, your spices that you might cook with. It has stocks in there, tomato paste, things like that that you might cook with. And we also have our recipe cards in there because we do get HelloFresh sometimes. So that is all kept in one big dinner container. So it's easy and everyone knows where it is, but it's all out on display and all movable and so easy and user friendly. I did want to mention as well, everything in this pantry has been purchased in Australia, and a lot of it from stores that you probably have in your area. The jars here and these pull-out containers both come from Kmart. The OXO are all from Costco, and I bought them in a big bulk pack and got a great price on them. They are a little bit more expensive, but if you do shop around, they're definitely worth the money. You will save yourself that money again in the amount of time that the food then lasts you. So we're down here in those lower shelves. They are the same depth, this lower shelf, as the one above. We just wanted to do that to ensure that we had a shadow casting over these appliances. We really didn't want those appliances to stand out, so by casting that shadow, it's drawing the attention away from those as well. We've got the tubware over here in the corner, and that is open and really easily accessible. We reuse a lot of our Tupperware that we get from takeout and things like that. And then down here we've got our back stock. All these containers you'll see have lovely labels, and they match the ones that were on the containers above. Throughout the house we have the matching labels with all the same font. It's kind of our house font. And that is all done at home on a DIY. So I'm definitely going to make a video for you guys to show you guys how you can do your own labels for your house that is particular to everything that you keep in stock. And that will be a separate video later. It's really easy and kind of fun to do. The other thing that's super important in my pantry is safety. I do actually keep a full fire extinguisher in my pantry. I know it sounds like a bit much, but I would better be safe than sorry. So I carry a full one here, ready to go. We're right next to a lot of cooking appliances, and in a gorgeous new house like this, I want to protect my assets. So having something like this on hand is so super important, and a pantry right in the middle of the kitchen is a great place to put it. As long as you let all your family members know where it is, they will make sure to use it if the need arises. So these are the backstock containers. They are where you're allowed to be a little bit messy. I put in those anything that I just don't need to be out on display or I'm not using. So if I've got extra stock of something, Like if I've bulk bought from Costco and I have 10 cans of tuna, I obviously don't need all of them out, so I chuck the rest in there. And that overflow for topping up things like my jars as well. So I've got excess that I pour half a packet in, but I've got half a packet left, it goes in there. The things that go in there are always the eldest in date. They are the ones that are going to expire the latest. So I have plenty of time to make sure I use them, and I top up the jars from there. Over here is my party supplies. So that's another great thing to keep in your pantry. Candles, plastic plates, cups, cutlery, a few decorations, anything that you may need if a party is happening or a surprise party that comes up, and you may need that kind of plasticware as well. And here was that vegetable drawer I was talking to you about. We actually don't like to keep our vegetables in the pantry. I really want these vegetables to not get any light to them. I want them to stay in a cool, dry, dark place. And this bottom drawer in the kitchen is the perfect spot for that. When designing the kitchen, I definitely had this in mind and always wanted to put my veggies in here. I didn't want to be digging through veggies as well, so having them in a drawer means I can just stick my hand in, grab out whatever I need whenever I need it, and it's super accessible. That is basically all of my kitchen and pantry that I'm going to show you guys for today. As you can see behind me, there's plenty more of the kitchen to go, and there will be other videos for me to show you all of that. So make sure you stay tuned. Like I said, push that little subscribe button, ring the notifications bell. That will tell you every time I'm posting a new video, so you do get warned. And I am really looking forward to seeing you next time. Thanks again. Bye.